This is WFO Radio.
It is Friday. That's right. It's Friday, and it's 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 o'clock Pacific. And what does it mean? You're not getting anything else done. That's it. It's over. That's it. Call it a week. Forget it. Blow it off. It's done. Or at very least, start winding down and enjoy a WFO happy hour. I'm WFO Joe, and our guest this week going to be Krista Baldwin, NHRA's newest licensed top fuel racer. We're going to hear the story about getting the license and all of that, and we're going to have some surprise guests, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And that's it. Then we'll get into the weekend. Now, I know a lot of our friends are out there they're racing at Wild Horse Pass. There's a double divisional. We've got people out there at PDRA. There's all kinds of stuff going on. Drag racers, feel free to jump on the Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or otherwise, and let us know how it's going. We're going to have ourselves a good time. I'm going to have a couple of beverages. We're going to think about the week that was, discuss the issues of the week, and speak with our newest licensed top fuel driver, Krista, coming up in a few minutes from now. But first, I want to get everybody up to speed on the people who are making it possible. And for the month of October, the folks at Sanacor Hand Sanitizer are on board with WFO. If you've got a race team, if you've got a shop, if you've got a business, you know protecting your customers, your clients, and employees are super important right now. Sanacor can help you do that. They've got great bundles with the gallons, with the pumps, and those individually wrapped packets that are so convenient because you could put a couple of them in your pocket, in your car, or otherwise, and bust them open when you need it, and then get rid of the wrapper. It is cool. Go to SanacorUSA.com or Sanacor USA on Facebook to check them out. Tony Shortall going to be on the show next week and talk all about it. We really appreciate Sanacor jumping on board. Also, Total Seal Piston Rings, the leader in ring seal technology. Hartford and the team, Keith Jones and Lake Speed Jr., grinding out the last horsepower possible out of every combination. Go to TotalSeal.com, check out their brand new website, and download that brand new Hidden Horsepower podcast, TotalSeal.com. Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School. Can't go very far on WFO without getting a shout out about Frank and Frank Hawley. Yesterday, we were talking with Doug Coletta. If you didn't see that interview, wait until after happy hour and then go check it out. But we ended up talking about Tony Stewart and the rumors that Tony Stewart wants to go top fuel racing full time. All right, that's just how a rumor gets exaggerated on the web. The rumor is that Tony wants to try to drive a top fuel car, and Doug explained to us that the word is that Tony wants to go to Frank Hawley's just to get the basics. Bottom line, you talk to the champion race car drivers out there, or anybody that wants to do it like the right way, Frank Hawley is usually part of that conversation. And if you want to be just a fan who has a great experience, check out their Dragster adventure, frankhawley.com. Samtech.edu. Driving's not for everybody. We need crew chiefs and crew guys and people who know how to program CNC machines. And that is what Samtech is all about. The next generation learning their trade. Samtech.edu. Brian and Judd and Linda, they got a great school down there in the Houston area. We'll be heading that way soon. Go to samtech.edu today to find out more information. Yes. And finally, Marvin Rodak, Rodak'sCoffeeandGrills.com. There is no, this is not about your future. It's just about living great right now. Great coffee and a little hot sauce and spice rub and learning how to grill. That's what Rodak's is all about. 817-924-6821. I'll tell you a little bit later on in the show how to get a WFO radio face covering if you watch the show on a regular basis. You should know that already. It is now time to bring on our happy hour guest. I want to hit the beverages. ASAP, joining us from Brownsburg, Indiana, the Greekette, the newest top fuel driver on the NHRA Tour. Krista, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Joe?
I'm great. I am great. I'm so excited to hear the story behind your licensing in a casual happy hour setting because this was very well covered in our circles. There are drivers that get their licenses all the time, but this one broke the internet. Everybody was posting about it. Everybody was excited about it. It was next level as far as licensing news goes. And you're going to tell us all about it and share the details. I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great weekend to begin with. St. Louis, I mean, both for my grandpa, he qualified number 10, which is one of his highest qualifying efforts in the last few years. And then, of course, Paul Lee got that number 1 qualifier in Nitro Funny Car. So this weekend started out pretty dang good. And then, of course, come Monday is when I got to have all the fun. And I made 3 runs on Monday. My quickest was a 3:99 at 250. I clicked it about half track, but dang, it's different.
And we've got some videos. You sent me a video that is like my favorite video that I've seen, and we've got photographs, and we're going to share all of those. Great shots. You and your grandfather, etc. And the story kind of leaking out though, and some of our other guests are coming on. I see you guys down there, so just stay tight. Krista, it is happy hour. Are you prepared for happy hour?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm good to go.
Get the vibe going on. But that there was a story in one of the St. Louis papers, maybe, that, just celebrating the Greek, celebrating Chris and his career, and that, maybe it gave me the impression that maybe this was the last time we're going to see him behind the wheel of a car. Now, I'm just applying that to what I read. So give us the real information.
It was quite a surprise when that article did come out. We were a little taken aback by it because, of course, he was the only one in the interview. So who knew what he was going to say? But I mean, honestly, the last 15 years he's been trying to retire, and every year he comes back. So I wouldn't take what he said too seriously. He is going to try to do at least one more this year, either Houston or Vegas, depending on what the powers that be are going to do. And but yeah, he's still gonna be there. He's still gonna come out there in his dragster, and he still loves it. I mean, it's so funny because of course, the last 2 years we've really bonded over the fact of we're driving together, we're driving similar cars, and now the fact that I got to drive his car, especially since the car went so good during my licensing runs. He's like, "Well, I want to keep going." Like, go right ahead. It's your car.
Oh man, I think it's great, and it's hard because I want to see your career start, but I stood there at the back of his trailer with my dad as a little boy, watching him work. And NHRA just ran those time machine bits with, he made a couple of final rounds, he and Lance Larson years back, and I think about, the Chiseler cars and the Golden Greek, and the second he stops racing, I get old. That's what happens. So he's got to race. He's got to keep going, but I want to see your career start too. So there's kind of like a push pull going on.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Of course, a lot of people want to see me take over the car, and I'm like, you guys, it's still his car. He's still sharp as a tack in that thing, and I know he gets bugged about his reaction times, but I'm telling you guys, if he really concentrated, he could cut a light. I'm not going to lie.
Well, that's great. That's great. I would love to see him. He's just such a great inspiration. All right. Before we bring on a couple of our other guests, I just want what was it like? Okay. A fuel. You've done that. I saw some of the videos. In fact, I think you were going 278 at the 8th. So the speed you would be going at the quarter, you were going at the 8th. Do your best. How was it to drive a Top Fuel dragster?
It was insane. Absolutely insane. I mean, you think about this moment for years and years, and to actually do it, it blew it out of the water. Whatever I thought was going to be Top Fuel, definitely not. It was so fast, and it hit so hard, and it felt so good. I hit the gas and I got out there, and the launch was pretty okay. I could handle that. But when you get out there to 300 feet and the car almost relaunches, you better be holding on. That's for sure. But of course, I have a bunch of friends that made that transition from A fuel to Top Fuel in the last few years. And I've asked them, like, what is it? How's it going? And they're like, just wait. You'll have your turn. Just wait. It's so amazing. And they were right. That was one of the best moments of my life, was hitting that gas. And I absolutely cannot wait to do it again.
That's awesome. And that's what people say, that the launch is not what's up. It's the second launch when you're down the track, because you're not expecting it. You're waiting for it to slow down, and it goes again. All right, I got someone else who's on here. And this is kind of cool because I said, Krista, invite whoever you want on the show. And here's, speaking of Top Fuel drivers, we got Top Fuel Cam Ferre out there. What's up, Cam?
What's
up, Cam?
Not much. It's happening. How are you guys?
Great. How are you? What's the status? I saw you doing some paint work. What were you painting?
Just a junior dragster. Some of my students, I had an old junior dragster body that was crashed at my shop, and we ended up just repairing it because some of my students wanted to do the custom thing, so we're just kind of messing around with that. But I'm actually right now, I actually just pulled up to state line from the California Nevada border here. I'm at Whiskey Pete's doing the off-road race with my sponsor Impy in the Class 11 class again. So I literally just pulled up, and Krista hit me up and said, "Hey, do you want to come on WFO?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, of course."
Hell yeah, of course. Now, what kind of advice would you give to Krista as someone who's got some runs under your belt, but is also still part of her generation and that whole deal? So let's share some of that advice with all of us, but it's for Krista.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, Krista and I have talked. I mean, we've been going back and forth about this for a long time, even when she was in A Fuel and stuff, and she's doing a really, really good job. And I mean, I'm not to say that I know everything about driving these cars yet, too. I'm still new, but the biggest thing is the second launch everybody talks about. Like you say, it's leaving is not the hard part. It's keeping it in the groove, and then when a hole drops or something, you have to be able to feel it in the seat in your butt, you know. And got to know when to hold them and know when to fold it and to lift off the gas, because it's so expensive to drive them, you know. And you know, that's a huge thing, and it happens so fast compared to, you know, because in an A Fuel car like Krista and I talk about, they nose over at like 700 feet, 800 feet. Generally, they're going to drop a hole or two, right? So I mean, the top fuel car pulls and pulls and pulls, and it never wants to stop, especially at 1,000 feet. So you know, the biggest thing is doing your best not to, you know, and when you're driving a dragster, it's not jerking movements with the steering wheel. You got to let it go where it wants to go to a certain point, and glide it, not manhandle it like you would in a funny car. So, but she's doing a great job, and I saw the videos of her runs, and you know, yeah, she did awesome. So I'm excited to have another young person in the world, and hopefully we can continue to find sponsors and stuff like that, like Impy and things like that, to continue our careers. You know, it's really hard out here for us to make it all happen, but we're doing our best every day trying to promote great companies and brands. And you know, with Camping World coming on with the NHRA, I'm very excited to see where that goes, because the CEO, he's a very what's the word I'm looking for, aggressive person in the world of and I like that, and I feel like that's something that we've been lacking for a long time. So I'm really excited to see where all that goes. And yeah, I'm just super excited. Well, this season's getting down to the wire, but we got a couple races left. We'll do the last 3, it sounds like. So yeah, hopefully maybe we'll get Krista out there. Yeah. So I entered in Terry's car for Dallas, Houston, and we'll probably Vegas too. So thanks to him and Terry Haddock Racing for letting me jump in his car, and you know, I'm grateful for the opportunity and more laps to learn and things like that. It's always great.
Now, what about that, Krista? I would love both of your opinions on, and in a second I'll bring on another guest. I see him down there. The Camping World deal. Like, maybe I'm overly enthusiastic, honestly. Like, maybe I'm overselling it, because I just think of every product in that store all of a sudden is a potential marketing tie or an activation, like every one. And, you know, Yeti, Coleman, you've walked through any one of those stores. There's just thousands and thousands of things there, and they're going to need to be exposed or tied in or as associates or otherwise. I think it's great. And for Marcus to have been so stoked to reach out to drag racing. He's a car guy. He's a car dealership guy. He grew up on the dealerships here in Miami. I am just super excited about it. But Krista, this is your gig. This is your job. You're in the marketing department. What do you think about what has been presented? And by the way, take it very not seriously, because this is happy hour. This is not like, it's getting a little serious. Gotta be less serious.
I absolutely love it, actually, especially, you know, watching that Twitter conversation go back and forth, and Cameron was watching that with us, and, you know, just seeing the progression of like how NHRA was responding to Marcus and Marcus responding to NHRA. I thought that was super cool. I mean, that's definitely 2020 digital age type of marketing right there.
Yeah.
And then for them to just jump in and be an immediate sponsor to pick up where we needed. And I think this is going to be a huge thing. I mean, I've always said that this whole, 2020 was kind of like everyone took like a life sabbatical. We were able to go out and do something that not racing and see how it was. And obviously we all kind of hated it because it's not racing, but I think this is a great relaunch of NHRA. I mean, NHRA is going into its 70th year next year, and now we have a new presenting sponsor. I mean, I think the opportunities are endless. I mean, I think this is going to be a great thing for everyone involved.
That's awesome. All right, let's bring in our next guest, and hopefully it's not, gonna buzzkill the show. Like maybe you're, you should be working right now, Krista. There he is, boss.
Oh, the boss.
The boss, Paul Lee. Or should I introduce him as number one qualifier out there at the Mopar Express Lane Midwest Nationals presented by Pennzoil, Paul Lee. What's up, Paul? How are you?
Either one.
Tell my wife to get back to work.
Either one is good. Yeah. Hey, yeah, Cameron. Your family, your wife's over here working pretty hard. What are you doing out there, cruising around, having fun?
I'm playing. I'm a professional player in the world of racing when it comes to that. Not player. You know.
Well, you're working hard, Cam. You're doing what you got to do, man. You're hustling. That's
right.
It's fun. It happens to be fun. That's inconsequential, whether or not it's fun. This is work for you. You're working. Your nose is to the grindstone right now. So
absolutely, Tell Angie that.
That's it.
Yeah. She's like, "Are you kidding me? You're back over. What are you doing?" And I'm like, yeah, sorry, babe. I'm going off-road racing. I love you.
Yeah. Listen, I have to go off-road racing this week. Believe me, if it was up to me, I would, but I got to do this. So
part of my contract,
Yes. No, you're doing the right thing, Paul. Number one qualifier, man. You're.
Yes, thanks. Yeah. That was pretty exciting.
How do you look back at the weekend though? Because it's good news, bad news. This is not easy. I know you know that.
Yeah, we have a fast, very fast hot rod. Couple of things mechanically. Not 100%, but to be honest with you, it's my fault for not bringing things up. And we've, in the last couple of days, fixed those things. So it'll be a different story at the next race, I guarantee you.
Driver comfort things, like things that to make you comfortable?
Yes. 100%, yes.
And it makes perfect sense that you would not bring things up initially because you don't want to take guys' focus off of other stuff. But now the other stuff seems to be working pretty well. So it's perfect timing for you to focus on your comfort, where things are, and whatever it takes to make you the best person you can be behind the wheel.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll even tell Krista this, like when she's driving a car, I'll say, I'll tell her, hey, if something's not right, bring it up. Don't be shy, right? Don't be shy. Bring it up. Make it right. If the gas pedal's not right, make it right. If the clutch pedal's not right, make it right. And here I am. I do as I say, but I don't do as I say, right? I tell other people to do that, but I don't do it myself. So, my bad. And but we'll get it fixed for next week. We got a great hot rod. It's one of the fastest cars on the property. Jimmo really is great at tuning these cars. He makes a lot of power, and even it's cool. Some of the other crew chiefs will come over and say, "Man, you make a lot of power. You might need to put another disc in that thing." So it's pretty exciting to have a fast car. So next race it'll be a different story. I'm on a mission.
There it is. I love it. Ron McLeod saying, "What's up to you guys?" He's tuning in from Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas, baby. That is cool. Got a lot of people out there. Bob says you're the best boss in the business. Is that true? Are you a good boss? Krista.
I agree.
Yeah?
That's what I hear. That's what I hear when my wife comes home every day. So I'd have to, I guess, agree with that.
Yeah, we have a great group at McLeod Racing and FTI Performance. We got a great group of people, and it's taken many, many years to get the group that we have here. We have the best group we have ever had, and that's not even a lie. I mean, we have no drama. Everybody works hard. Everybody has a good time. We have fun, and it's like we don't have a job. Like we're getting to play with race car parts and talking about racing. Like we're working now, and Krista and I and Cameron, we're with you and talking about race cars and having fun. I mean, what's better than that?
I'm glad you recognize that this is work, though, we are still promoting the business. This is just a lighter version, last hour of the week for us on the East Coast. You West Coasties, we're cutting right into the middle of your day. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, it's 1:20.
Yeah, man, I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, exactly.
Cameron, you're not even working.
I'm jealous because you guys have cocktails, or some of you have cocktails, i.e. Joe. but I gotta go get into a race car, so I'm gonna leave that for later.
Leave it for later.
I'm not getting into a race car, and I'll have a cocktail in about 3 hours.
There you go.
Lead by example, Paul. That's very good. Wait until after hours, but this is happy hour. So let's watch this video. Let's see if I can get this right. I think it's going to go right in the middle of the screen. I did not, Krista, you sent me the video of the car going down the racetrack. It was a little too big for me to use, but this one is the perfect size. And to me, this is the better video. We've all seen Top Fuel cars go down the racetrack, but I think your mom, Paula, took this one. And like the gravity of what you had just accomplished washing over you and everybody. And I think people have seen this, but maybe not for the WFO universe. This is the aftermath, like at the top end. Check it out.
Oh my God.
Beautiful job.
Great job. I need one of those. Oh my God, baby. Look at even your papa's thrilled. All right. Did good, baby girl.
Was that fun?
Yeah.
Huh?
I gotta ask
Then
you
your
this.
fuel, then your
Was it a
fuel's
little
ever gone
different
to
than
8
your
miles.
fuel car?
600 feet, you already went 278.
I know, huh?
Oh my God.
Straight as an arrow. Yeah, me too.
And did you hear Dom?
I just heard it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He did?
Yeah, Dom saw it. Bobby was there and had Dom on the phone.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Bob's freaking out.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dominic. We love you.
Oh my God.
Thank you. The Lagana. We love you. How about it? Oh, Bobby.
Dom FaceTime while you were doing the burnout. Yeah. While you were doing the burnout, he FaceTime. I answered it. He watched the run. Now look at this thing. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Clean as a whistle.
It's beautiful.
Oh my God, it's unbelievable.
Oh,
That was-
Bobby,
Dom watched the
Dominic,
run.
thank
That
you
was
so
incredible.
much.
That's the best I've felt in too much. I'm crying over that. Oh, I'm serious. I can't believe that just happened. I'm crying over that. That's the best I've felt in too much.
You.
He FaceTime while the burnout happened. That was beautiful.
Thank you so much.
That was awesome. Chris, actually, come on. That was awesome. And then Dom saw that, you know. I felt my phone vibrate and I answered. It was Dom face. I gave him a big iPad to FaceTime with.
Sweet.
That was just coincidence.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that was just coincidence.
Wow, that was
I'm
great.
so
Oh, man.
thrilled. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, $3.99.
Straight as I could go.
I know.
313 to the half track, so that's going to be
What
what, a
was
low
the half track
90?
mile an hour?
No, 200.
And there you have it. Wow. Krista, watching that, what does it mean?
I mean, that's years and years of trying to live the dream, and that one moment was it. And you know, just the people that were there that supported me, that helped make this car go down the racetrack. Just been, I love watching it. Absolutely, I love.
I gotta tell you,
Yes.
I gotta tell you, watching that just makes my arms stand up, because literally, over the hair on my arms stand up, because that's like a spitting image of from when I got my license. Like just the reactions and just all the people, and it's one of the best times of your life. And like Krista said, I mean, you worked your whole life for that point in time, and for it to come full circle. And I texted Krista the other day and I told her, I said, hey, I was reading your Competition Plus press release, and it hit me right in the feels, because it's with her talking about her dad, and that's just there's nothing like it. And with it being a big family thing, and so many people helping her get it going, with the Laganas and stuff, and how Dom FaceTimed her right at the beginning, or Bobby or whatever, right at the starting line. That all that stuff is, there's moments like that that are just, you'll never forget them, and that's really cool that your mom actually filmed it, you not really knowing. So that's
Yes.
awesome.
No, your mom, Paula, who I've shared wine with many times, Paul as well, at the Tobler deal. That moment, to have captured it and have it connected, we got the Nitro Ninja up in the corner because of Dominic and the New York Yankees with a big win last night. I can't help but think of Dominic and the fact that he FaceTimed just as you're getting ready to go down the racetrack. Like, my goodness, what a great moment.
Yeah, it was. I mean, of course, I'm going through all the emotions of getting down the racetrack, getting out of the car, and experiencing that. But when they told me that Dom saw it, I lost it. That was, we spent so many months trying to get this car ready to go and ready to, ready for my grandpa, really. And then, of course, for me to get my license, and just for Dom to see it and see his hard work go down the racetrack, that made the whole day for sure.
Wow, amazing stuff. Paul, what about you when you look back at going through that and you see Krista go through that moment?
Well, I mean, I was on the start line, and I saw Bobby FaceTiming while she was actually, doing the burnout and everything, and I saw Bobby on the FaceTime like we all did, and it was like, wow, this is incredible. And then when she made the run and went down the track and ran the 399, Bobby was jumping up and down and yelling. It was like he just won a race. And I'm not even exaggerating. He was, yelling at Dom. She just went 399. Look. I mean, it was unbelievable. And then, of course, Krista's mom, Paula, she was bawling. She was crying. And she, got a big hug from her. And, of course, Krista didn't see all this because she was up at the other end, with the chutes out. But there was a bunch of people high-fiving and hugging and crying. And it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. It was even emotional for me because, I've, been, Krista and I have worked together for a long time, and she's been here in McLeod for a long time. And, I've tried to help her out as much as I can with the racing. And I'm really proud of her after seeing her, drive the car right down the track like she's been doing it all her life. Of course, I always knew that she could. I always knew that she had the talent. And it was, even, I felt like a proud dad. You know what I mean? That's how I felt when I saw her go down the track. So,
well, that's awesome.
Pretty
Paul, FYI, your audio is internet based. It's gotten a little funky. I'm going to kick you out and bring you back in. If you got earbuds, I think that might fix it. Let me kick you out, and we'll all talk about you. Anybody want to say anything about Paul? Now's the time.
No, I'm good.
If I was Paul, I'd be getting emotional all the time because, he had a brush with, he might not even be here. Right. And he gets to see all this stuff. And I think about Bobby and Dominic. I heard Bobby say that this is the best he's felt in months. Like that moment gave him joy. And isn't that what this whole thing is all about? Like we go out, we compete, and we have fun, and I watch you guys, and I'm thrilled to do it. But you guys live this life, this drag race life, and to be able to give Bobby Lagana some joy in this moment, knowing that Dominic is on the other end and that Dominic is going to be in the world with us, right? Like we were just talking, Paul, and Paul is now back. We were talking about how Paul, like you dodged the Reaper, man. And so every moment has got to be a great moment for you. And to be able to help out Krista or do positive things and enjoy this, like you're operating on a higher level right now, I think, than maybe other people who don't have a brush with not being here. Paul can't hear me. Guys, Krista. That's so eloquent. It's like the best thing I've ever said. And
it was.
Yeah, that was like you should have wrote that in a book, man. And now we got to do it again.
Dang it, Joe.
Take two.
As long as you guys heard it, I don't care if Paul didn't hear. Paul, you can't hear us. What's up, Paul? Paul can't hear us. Paul can't hear. I'm gonna kick him out. That's it. This is how it goes. You just kick him out. He can't hear you.
Kieran, text Angie. Tell her to help him.
Yes, exactly. Let's see. Joey Rocket says, congratulations, Krista. May the Nitro Ninja Metal gods be with you always and forever, says Joey Rocket. Do you know Joey Rocket?
I don't think so, but thank you. I appreciate it.
He's the rocker guy that hangs out on the starting line with the Laganas.
Oh, okay, yes.
You know the dude now with the leather pants.
Yep.
Let's look at some photos here. This one. Look at that. You and your dad. My gosh. Yep. You look unhappy though. Like, I don't know. Like, what do you think? Evaluate your, give us an opinion.
I would say that's the only time I've been unhappy in the seat. How about that?
There you go. Now, that's one of the Chiseler cars. And the name, the Chiseler, do you know, like, where that comes from?
Actually, I'm pretty sure it came from Chrysler. Chrysler did something with the Chiseler, and so I think my grandpa just took that.
Okay. Well,
Andy's going to go help him.
Okay, good.
Oh, really? You made a call? Like, go help Paul? Like, go sort out.
I phoned a friend.
Phoned a friend, Paul? Can you hear us yet?
Yeah.
Can you hear us, Paul?
Yeah.
Paul can't hear us. Oh, look, she's in there now. Let's watch.
Yeah, come here.
Oh, there
There you
I
go.
was getting a lot of static, but I don't hear anything now. Look who's here.
Hi, Angie.
There she is.
Hi, honey.
Hi.
Look at that.
You know the family show, did you, Joe?
Yeah, you know what? I don't care. I'm having a great time. Like I told Krista, I was like, I don't know what's going to happen because everyone's racing this weekend. You know, got PDRA and you got the double signal. And so whatever happens, here we are. Look, we got the whole deal. Cam, you're doing pretty well for yourself there, bud. Got to tell you.
Gotta say, she's a looker.
Good job. I'm involved in drag racing. So yeah, a little bit of a crackle. Who knows what it is, but we're just going to deal with it. Oh, now he's gone. Look, notice that. I wonder if they have earbuds. If they have earbuds, let's kick them out again. Let's just do it for fun this time. Let's just do it for fun
Angie
this
will
time.
figure it out.
Yeah, Angie will figure it out. Let's figure it out. Oh, wrong photo. There you go. Under the canopy. What was that like, Krista? The canopy.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that because I've never driven a canopy car, so I was curious to see what the difference was with that.
So the canopy, it's not too bad. Obviously, with the startup, you start the car, you trim the fuel, and they set the idle, and then they push the canopy down on top of you, and that's a little scary. I feel like the first time, it's like a spaceship.
Sealing you in.
Yeah, it's like really sealing you in. But actually, Cameron, it's so quiet. I had to take my earplugs out the next run because I couldn't hear anything.
Heard that. Langdon told me that when he first started driving them, he said, man, like you can hear so much about the motors doing so many different things, and you can actually hear it because you're not stuffed with earplugs and everything else going on around you. So but yeah, the whole like dropping that down. I'm still on the fence about the canopy thing. It's like when I first got my funny car license and the nostalgia stuff, when the body comes down for the first time, you're like, is this a coffin or is it like what's going on here?
I dig it. I can see. Yeah. I can see. But the Leah video, and I'm sure you guys have studied it because it's the first time that we've seen a canopy car go through that particular incident. My uneducated layman opinion is that it held up pretty well. Like I looked at what she went through and I thought, if I was in there, would I want to be under the canopy or not under the canopy? And I think I would rather be under the canopy. What did you guys see in that?
I feel like in that situation, because somebody, Dixon went through that, and then Phil Lamatina in Australia, who I drove for in Australia. I feel like the good thing about can you hear me?
Yes, we got you.
Okay. The good thing about the canopy is like for debris and stuff, things flying off and, you don't want to strike the driver. So I think that's a great thing about it. But the only thing that makes me nervous about them is if it does get upside down, you can't get out of it. Somebody has to help you out of it. And that makes me a little nervous, but I did notice in the video, like it kind of opened a little bit. So I don't know if the latch, I do know they have like a little latch on them that kind of keeps them down. So it'd be interesting to kind of look at it after the fact, but I mean, thank God it did its job. That's for sure. I mean, they work great in boats. So
right.
I'm not to say that I don't not like them, but I've just never tried one, so I can't. That's just what I saw from it.
No, I like it. Okay, let's see if Paul, can you hear us? Paul Lee, can you hear us?
Yeah, but I'm still getting a lot of static.
A lot of static. All right, Paul, I think that's a sign. It's a sign from the racing gods. I want to tell you, Paul, I appreciate you. I still regret not having said hello to you in the first class that day. That's terrible. Congratulations.
That was the Paul, not you, Angie.
Yes, on your number qualifier. There goes Paul Lee and Angie and baby Cam in there somewhere.
Yep, baby girl on the way.
That's cool. Picked out a name?
No, like our son Jet was just like right there, no problem. That was what we wanted. But girl, we're just having we have a couple that we're stuck on, but it's just there's always somebody that's like, oh, I have somebody that I don't like that name, or that person was a jerk in high school, or whatever. So it's just there's so many opinions out there, so we haven't nailed one down yet, but we got till February, so we'll figure it out.
Okay. Yeah, very tough decision, by the way. People who haven't been through that, not that I have, but name your child. For people
for the rest of their life, it's whatever.
Exactly. All right, I want to bring on another guest who just got his first win in Competition Eliminator. You guys are both Top Fuel kids, but he is also a young racer. WFO supports all young racers. Taylor Kaminski, Competition Eliminator, got his first win in Comp Eliminator, driving one of the Art Hodges machines. Taylor, what's up? Congratulations on the win. Can you hear us? You cannot hear us.
Hey, guys. Thank you
there
very
he
much.
is.
It was an unbelievable weekend. Yes, I can hear you. Can you
That's awesome.
hear
Yeah,
Hear me?
it's off and on. It's off and on. So. And Taylor runs a WFO sticker on his car and has been a great supporter of WFO radio.
There
And I just thought
we
it
go.
was
I got
fantastic. You,
you? Can you hear me?
yes, so. Let me kick you out. We're having tough internet today, guys. All right, we're having tough internet, but it's kind of cool. But see, I think about the next generation of racers, and without you guys, we're done. Cam and Krista and Taylor, like if you guys have to believe that you can do the impossible, otherwise we're done. Because if you don't try to do it and do crazy things like Krista did buying the operation and Cam doing what you do, which I'm sure is, not advised by people to do what you do, then what's going to happen? We need the next generation of racers.
Now we just got to get the marketing world and all that to kind of coincide with, myself, Krista, Jordan, all these people, Austin, all these younger kids that are out there. I mean, we are the future of the sport, so we really need to work hard and, not against each other for sponsorship and, work together and as collectively try to figure it out. And, like we kind of touched on earlier with the camping world stuff, hopefully there's more opportunity there. Like you said, there's walk those shelves. We just need to get some of those marketing directors and heads of CMOs out there and show them what Nitro's all about.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Taylor's back. Taylor wants to be in pro stock, guys, just so you know. Like, let's fast forward. You guys will be running Top Fuel. Taylor will be running pro stock. Taylor, where are you?
I am at the racetrack in Noble, Oklahoma. We're at the divisional. So I stepped outside the trailer to get some better service, but you might hear the occasional race car in the background. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
We like it.
Pretty hard place to beat on a Friday.
Taylor, do you know Krista and Cam?
I've met Cam a few times. Krista, I don't know you. It's nice to meet you, but I watch
to
you. I
meet you.
followed you. Pretty awesome stuff you guys are doing. So honored to be on.
Thank you too. Congrats on the big win. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah, it was a pretty
congratulations.
unbelievable weekend. Thank you very much.
So take us through like winning the win light coming on, Taylor.
It's
What's that
pretty
like?
crazy. That's actually the first time in my 13 races so far that I've remembered to look for the win light past the finish line. I'm so worried about getting the chutes out on time and getting the thing stopped because the run's not over once they tell you what you ran. So I was pretty pumped to see that win light come on for sure. But we had a good day. The car was awesome. I got some luck on my side with a couple red lights and a competition bye. And I don't think you can win one of these things without a little bit of luck on your side. So it was all in all a great day. Was able to beat one of the legends of the sports, Randy Daniels, in the final. That was pretty awesome. So had a couple good lights, had a great race car behind me, and I couldn't thank my team and all the people that support me enough for that day.
That's awesome. Just remember, people don't ask you who you beat or what you did. They just ask you if you won. So don't beat yourself up on getting lucky. It's all part of it.
Yep.
Right.
That's the easiest answer on Monday when everybody asks how you did. Just say you win. And everybody says, oh, great.
My question is, how much did the WFO sticker have to do with this? That's where it's all about me, really. I'm trying to sell the idea that the WFO sticker is actually good luck, and that people must, if they want good luck, they must. Well,
where are you at, Joe? Shoot, come on, help those fuckers out.
Yeah,
Joe, we can make that sticker as big as you want. You see that white door on the side is pretty wide open.
Yeah. So you feel like there was definitely magic associated with the WFO sticker.
You know, I've had the chance to turn on a few win lights, but never 4 or 5 in a row without that sticker. So yeah, I got to give a lot of credit to the sticker for sure.
How many races have you run with the sticker on the car?
With the sticker, it has been I think 3 races with the sticker on the car.
There it is.
Not a bad deal. I
There
got
it
my first semifinal, my first final, my first win, all with that sticker, Joe. So I hope you're getting some comments. You can send some out.
I like it. I like it. So we were talking with Krista and Cam a little bit earlier. They both made their comment. I would like you to make your comment as well. In
Sure.
that, in 5 years, hopefully you're running pro stock because that's what you want to do. They want to run top fuel. The next generation on display right here. Krista just got her license. What are you thinking about? How are you going to make that happen?
Yeah, there's been some talks about me possibly getting in one here pretty soon. Maybe with a chance to just, get my license, get my feet wet. Obviously, the car that I'm running is a fantastic start. I couldn't thank Art Hodges more for the opportunity, but it's still a clutch car. It's still a 5. I'm still shifting 4 times. It's got the Liberty. So from the firewall back, it's the exact same as a pro stock car. It's just got a little smaller engine in it. So the mechanics are there. The drivability's getting there for me. I feel more and more comfortable each time I get in there. So love to have the opportunity. Well, I mean, these guys on the show know it's all about sponsorship dollars and how you can get there. This stuff. I mean, if you're a football player, it doesn't mean you can just play in the NFL because you want to, right? You have to have sponsorship dollars. You have to be talented. So it's kind of the same in drag racing. Just because you want to do it, it's a professional sport. So you need all the pieces to fall in line. So we're working on it behind the scenes. Right now, we're loving what we're doing in comp. We're getting better. We're having a blast. And hoping to turn on a few more win lights before the end of the year. We're going to be at Dallas. We're going to be at Houston. And wherever that final one is, we're going to be there too.
That's awesome. Michael Heiner wants to know who was more excited, you or your dad?
Oh, we were both in tears, Mike. We were absolutely in tears. I grabbed my dad at the top end, and I was in tears, and we just said we did it, and we couldn't believe we did it. And then I grabbed Art, and I said thank you. And yeah, there was a lot of waterworks being shed, but it was well deserved for us.
There.
I hate to cut you guys off, but I got to run. We're getting ready to go pre-run, so I got to go jump in the car.
Stay safe,
So
Cam.
put a helmet on.
Stay safe. Good job. Go have a good day at work, Cam.
Will do. Will do. Appreciate it. And thanks for having me on. And we'll see you guys soon. And we'll see you, sounds like, in Dallas.
All right.
All y'all.
Yep.
All y'all.
All
You
y'all.
got it.
Take care.
Said just
See
like
you,
Take care,
Cam.
California kid. There goes Cam Foray, Top Fuel Cam, with us here on WFO. And super exciting. Krista with the license and Taylor with the win and having beverages. Now, Taylor, you can't have a beverage, obviously.
No, we're in between Q1 and Q2, so I got to hold off for a couple hours, but was happy to jump
A little
on.
bit longer.
Now,
A little bit
Krista,
longer is right.
What do you know about Competition Eliminator? Like, because it's people think that everybody knows everything, but there's all these different like secret societies out there in the pit area. Your grandfather, your father running Top Fuel. You know that comp is out there, but what do you know about comp, if anything? Because even comp racers don't know a lot about comp. It's complicated.
I know that there's a lot of different things you could do within comp. And of course, I know the car that Taylor's driving. But other than that, I know that you guys usually run pretty early at the racetrack. And I hear you super early in the morning. But other than that, I'm not entirely sure. But awesome for you to running a clutch car, because obviously, as the McLeod girl, I got to say that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it makes playing the top end game a little different because I have to commit. I can't just get on and off the throttle like some of these automatics that I'm racing. But no, it's pretty good. I think the only thing you can't run in comp is a Top Fuel car or a pro stock motorcycle. I think everything else is pretty legit in there. So
Yeah, you can do like
we'll
any
find a
other
home
car.
for you. Exactly. No, it keeps it interesting. Some of the fans don't get it, but it's some of the closest drag racing out there. You can never lose by going too fast, but you want to take the smallest margin at the stripe, like always. So keeps us on our toes.
Absolutely.
Taylor,
Yeah,
have you ever thought of yourself as a Top Fuel driver? Like, have you ever had that dream, or are you always been kind of focused on pro stock?
I love the nitro stuff. I think it's what drives our sport. It's what the fans come to see. The machines are crazy what they do. Everything is so interesting about it. I was listening while I was in the waiting room there to the canopy discussion, and I really like it when they shut my doors or I shut my own doors and I'm in my little capsule. So I would probably be a canopy guy if I had the opportunity. But no, I think the nitro cars are awesome. They're fun to watch. They drive our sport. That's what the fans come to see. So we're lucky that we as comp eliminator racers, pro stock racers, all that stuff, have a sandbox to play in, and we thank the nitro guys.
That's awesome.
No,
Yeah.
you guys, everyone out there, takes that risk of going down the racetrack. And so that's the big thing is a lot of our fans don't understand that, like, everyone takes that risk of going down the racetrack and everyone has that passion of going down the racetrack. It doesn't really matter what you're going down as long as you're having fun.
That's right. Absolutely. No, there's not a better place to be. Even on our HGH Motorsports off weekend, we're at the racetrack driving something different. So nowhere we'd rather be.
That's awesome. So what's your next run, Taylor? Like when are they calling you up?
I think we're going to run here in about an hour for Q2, and then we've got eliminations tomorrow. So there's only 7 comp cars here this weekend, but we've got Richard Freeman driving one of his Mustangs. Erica's driving her Super Mod here. World champ Craig Bourgeois is here. So we got some tough competition. So I'll see what I can do for him.
Wow, you get a chance to Erica's birthday week. That's kind of cool. Very exciting.
Yeah. Yesterday was her birthday. There was cake flying everywhere in the elite pits, so they're always having fun.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Taylor, thanks for coming on the show. Good luck this weekend, and thanks for running the sticker, obviously.
I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, we'll try to bring some more win lights and Wally's home for the WFO fans.
There you go. Way to go, Taylor. Good job.
Thanks, Krista. Thank you.
Luck.
See you guys. Thanks, Joe.
Later, buddy. There he goes. There he goes. This has been a good happy hour. We've had a lot go down here. This has been kind of cool. Everybody works for Paul. Let's talk a little bit about that, right? Paul is like, we didn't get to speak with Paul totally, but the audio was a bit of a problem. But Paul, he's a special kind of person, and the competitive skydiving, I think that tells the tale. Competitive skydiving. Yeah. Not only am I going to go skydiving, but I want to compete with other people while I'm skydiving. So what's it like to work for Paul?
It's amazing. It's so much fun. I mean, he definitely instills a certain standard of McLeod and FTI, and of course with his race team. And you are proud to uphold that standard, and you're proud to have his companies on your back and to represent the companies. And he's very open-minded. Whenever I come up with some crazy, wacky idea that we need to do because we're going to be the cutting edge of the clutch market or the torque converter market, he's down for it. And so, the coolest thing about Paul is that if something doesn't work and you fail at it, he'll still support you, and he just wants you to learn from your mistakes and then to continue on. But yeah, it's a lot of fun working with Paul. It's a lot of fun working with all my friends. I love working with Angie Foray. I mean, she came on board a few years ago, and Joe Macasera, he's one of our tech guys and my marketing partner over at McLeod. And it's a lot of fun. We have a good time together.
And that's all you can ask, right? Like life, like set up a life. And this is why the drag racing community is so interesting and cool, because so many people have set up this life that they're working their butts off, but they're surrounded by people that they like and love them, and they enjoy it. And it's like, you never go to work if you love what you do.
Absolutely. I absolutely love what I do. I absolutely am very grateful for the opportunities Paul has presented to me and that I was able to take at such an early age. And yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I love my job because I get to think creatively and I get to come up with new ideas and new marketing strategies or new designs or anything like that. So it's a good time.
And I got a Cadillac CTSV 2006. Thing's got like 70,000 miles on it. Do you know my story that I didn't know how to drive clutch like at all until I was
I did not know that.
Okay. So my dad claims to be like, and I believe him. It's not that he claims to be, I believe him, like great clutch driver my whole life. But my mom is not into that stuff. She's wants an automatic. And so we only had automatics in my family from the time that I was 0 until always. There were no clutch cars around. And that's it. If there's not a clutch car around, like how do you learn to drive clutch? I didn't. I knew the theory. I talked with my dad about it all the time. Like, oh man, it sounds so cool. It sounds so cool to be able to, shift gears, power shift, all that stuff.
Yep.
And finally, here I am. I'm in like my late 20s, early 30s. I forget exactly how old I was. I'm feeling like less of a man because I don't know how to do this. It was on my mind. It bothered me greatly that I couldn't drive stick because there wasn't one around. In fact, I got an invite to go to the Justin Bell GT driving experience, like a 3-day long driving school, Z06 Corvettes. We're going to learn to road course race. And I don't know how to drive a stick. And this thing is like, it's like $2,000. And so a friend of mine, like, and I was about to get $2,000 worth of free stuff. I was making money. And so my friend, Boca Brian, had a 4-cylinder convertible, like 83 Mustang. And I got my basics in on that. And I went out to the driving school and did okay, did all right. So anyway, bought a Cadillac CTS-V, which is 6-speed Tremec, the T56. And now I don't even have an automatic car anymore. And so, but here's the thing. I don't know about clutch maintenance. Like, what lies ahead? What wears out? What do I need to do? What do I need to think about? At what point do I need to get rid of the stock clutch and get a McLeod clutch? I don't know about any of those things. Get me up to speed.
Well, obviously, especially, one of the biggest things is when your clutch starts to chatter and you start hearing some like crazy noises in your engine bay, might be time for you to replace your clutch.
Okay, exactly. Like, what do I need to look out for? Like, what will happen? When does this thing wear out? How does it wear out? When does it warn?
It'll let you know, that's for sure. I mean, because obviously when you're driving a manual car, you are making it work, and you are you're the connector to the engine, to the tires, right? Yes. And so it all has to go through your left foot and your right hand, right? So the second you feel anything, like when you go from a stop, like a straight stop, to rolling and something's wrong or something's chattering, or you could even feel the clutch being out of whack as you let the clutch out. So it's literally when you hear something, it's probably when you need to replace your stock clutch. And especially with McLeod, a lot of our customers, especially, within the last 2 years, it's not crazy for a street car to have 2,000 horsepower. You know what I mean? It's not crazy at all. And so we have clutches that can go all the way up to 3,000 horsepower. And I mean, we've developed technology with Bonafani to be in the pro stock cars. And so we have something for you. And Joe, whenever you are ready, we can even do like a cool install video for WFO radio listeners, and we could show you how to change out your clutch and all that stuff.
You know what?
I like it.
I like it too. And I am a drag racer by birth and by skill. But I love the road course stuff. I would be lying. Like, I like turning left and right. I love upshifting and downshifting. I love RPM matching. I like that whole side of it, doing the best that I can, which is not great, admittedly, but it's fun. And what you said about being connected to the driveline, people who drive automatic all the time. And if you're a bracket racer, of course, you'd much rather have an automatic than a clutch car because it's consistent. But an FTI is that's where that comes in. But the feeling of being connected to the driveline, if you like cars and if you're a racing person, that's the feeling you want. But again, I still am not knowledgeable enough because I don't know what I don't know. And I'm going through this experience like, all right, like it's a hydraulic clutch and the fluid got low. And I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing. And so I had to go through that process to educate myself. Like, oh, there's something else I need to be checking. Okay.
This is what's happening. Yeah.
This is what's happening. This is why it won't go into gear, which is good stuff. All right. Let's talk about a couple of other things. Like, you sent me some great photos and like, your mom, your dad, your grandpa, you. And when you go out and you get your license, this is, I hope, the beginning. This isn't the end. Like, I've accomplished a life's dream. I've got my license. It's the beginning of the next phase of it. You are a driver who's got your license now. And we all know that opportunities come up. But if you don't have your license, you can't take advantage of them. So what does it mean? Your dad passed away, I think, at 53. Too young. Terrible. And I think I saw you say somewhere that, you're kind of living for both of you, especially this dream. So to get this Top Fuel license, kind of following his footsteps, not everybody gets to do that, and you're doing it.
Yeah, it's so funny because the second I was staging the car for the first run, I have my conversations with him every time I get in the car, and I'm like, oh my God, Dad, this is it. We're doing it. And then I hit the gas, and of course, I get down the racetrack and I'm pulling the chutes and hitting the brake, and I'm like, oh my God, now I know why you did this for so long. I know why you worked so hard to do this. And it's absolutely a phenomenal feeling. And yeah, like I said, I feel like I'm living the dream for both of us, because he loved NHRA drag racing, absolutely loved it. He did not miss. He grew up in Pomona, just on the other side of the hill. As you're looking down track, his dad's property was gosh, what is it called now? The Cuban restaurant up on the hill.
Oh my God,
the mining company.
Incredible. Me and
Yeah.
Jason Morgan went there this last time. We discovered it. Everyone goes to the mining company. The mining company is not good. The Cuban restaurant is really good.
Cuban restaurant, super good. And so my grandpa actually used to own all that property before they built a bus station and all kinds of stuff there in the Cuban restaurant. So he would, ever since he was a little boy, he would take his bike, go over the hill, and go watch NHRA drag racing every February, November. So he's like, this was deep down inside him. And so he started his top fuel career in the 80s. And then, you know, of course, he progressed from there. And he met my mom out at the racetrack. And then he drove for my grandpa for a few years. And then he got his own operation back. He drove a nitro funny car, and that didn't work out. So he went back to top fuel. But everything he did was to get into that race car. And it's so funny. Like, my mom's like, you're just like your dad. So that's pretty cool for her to say that. Like, I've worked so hard just to get in that seat. And it's true. I do. I absolutely love it. And the best part is, especially that day, Scott Graham, Pat Dakin's crew chief, Scoots was actually my dad's crew chief and one of my dad's best friends. So me and Scoots are like this at the racetrack, and just for him to be there too, you know, it had all the feels. That's for sure.
Look at that group right there.
Over there. Yep.
Yeah, over here. You guys can't see my mouse. Of course, I'm rolling my mouse over there to point it out, and it doesn't work. But Scott Graham, I love that guy. Like, Scott Graham to me is, you know, the Pat Dakin operation could go out there and beat you on any given on any given day. And Scott Graham, he has been so helpful to me in evolving my education about what's going on. Like, he'll tell me stuff and be like, yeah, you know, and that's cool. I did not know that you had that relationship. Look at this bunch. They are pretty fired up, especially the young lady in the middle. But
of course.
and I love the trailer. I know it's crazy, but I love the trailer. The trailer has lasted forever. That's the trailer I stood behind with my dad watching your grandfather. This is in like 1985. It's 2020 and he's still got the trailer. It just goes to show you folks out there that you do not have to upgrade every single year to keep up with everybody. You can run the same stuff and keep going.
Absolutely. I mean, it's so funny because, you know, the last couple of races we've been, you know, helping maintain the car down here in Indy. And so we've been driving the truck and trailer back and forth. And, oh, man, it gets a little scary on the road, but it's still there. It still goes down the road.
It goes down the road. It goes down. He was part of the Team Strange. It was a big deal. It's still got the lettering. And, oh, man, that's super exciting. That's super exciting for you. Now, you said you're going to work on the car. What are you doing to the car? Like your grandpa's car. You got both cars there, but what is what are you trying to accomplish? Yes, exactly.
Most likely, just for the top fuel car is just the maintenance program, because of course my grandpa's up in Chicago and it's mostly just by himself. And we're like, Grandpa, let us help you. Let us get it ready. And I have so many resources here down in Indy. So right now the motor is knocked apart, and we took a look at the crank last night, and we're about to push a rack in it today and, you know, get the heads fixed. We did burn up the head this weekend, so we got to get that repaired. And just, you know, the maintenance program, because the key to last weekend, especially for him when he was qualifying, that car hasn't made consistent runs like that in a long time. And so it's just a true testament to, of course, Bobby Lagana and, of course, Don Schumacher with all his help and all his parts and pieces. And it's just the maintenance program. And so we just want to help make sure that he has a safe race car to go down the racetrack and be able to qualify and get that qualifying money and continue for how long he wants to go.
Right. Now, I know this might not be your place to do this, but maybe it's no big deal, right? And so if it is, then tell me, and if it's not, then don't tell me. But people want to help the Greek. People want to help the Greek. The guy is, maybe he's 89, maybe he's older. We don't know. Who knows? But people want to help the Greek. And there have been different people that have jumped up and tried to help the Greek to go down the track and just be consistent. And so Bobby and Dom have stepped into that situation now. Because, they don't tell people who they're helping. That's the thing about those guys. You're not helping people if you tell people that you're helping people. You just do it and you get out of the way. And there are so many people that Bobby and Dom have helped over the years. And so now they're helping Chris.
Yeah, we were able to, the biggest thing is we brought the car down from Chicago. We took it all apart and we wanted to put it back together correctly in the sense of we want to make sure every part was good on the car. And we were able to do that. And of course, this weekend was a true testament to what those guys know and how great they are, what top fuel gurus they are, and even to take things from Don Schumacher Racing, which is some stuff that they don't run, and they were able to just put a basic tune-up in it and make it go down the racetrack. And like I said, it was a collaborative effort between Lulaganas and DSR, and of course, Strange and Lucas Oil have lifetime sponsorships here.
Right. Well, and rightfully so. And Don, I've heard rumors that, Don loves your grandpa and that he wants to be helpful. And obviously, Forrest Lucas, the lifetime sponsorship, like we get it. Those guys get it. They understand what it means to have Chris out there, and God love them because they don't have to do that.
Absolutely. I mean, Don recognized that, my grandpa needed a race car. And so many years ago, he lent him this car. And then when they came up with the canopy design, Don said, absolutely, Chris, you have to have the canopy. It's so much more safe. And, my grandpa even told me, he's like, it's like driving a Cadillac, which, driving your Cadillac to this Top Fuel car, Joe, what do you think? I don't know.
Listen, I love the fact that the Cadillac, you could see the Greek is old school, that the Cadillac is still the benchmark for American luxury, even though mine is more of a performance car, but that's how it's supposed to be. Cadillac, people, Mercedes, all that, get out of here with the nonsense. Cadillac, baby. Although right now I'm not super happy with the cars that are coming out of Cadillac at this moment, but that's a different story for a different day. So tell me something about your grandpa in that, I'm intimidated of the guy, honestly, not intimidated. Like, I don't think he's going to be mean to me. It's not that. I think that he'll be annoyed by me. And I don't want to annoy anybody. Like, do you get it? Like, here's this person coming into my life asking me questions about stuff. Like, that's not what he's there for. He was there for that 20 years ago. Now he's just there for the experience. I don't want to ever be the guy that is, and all you listeners out there, you're this guy every day, Joe, that annoys the person by asking for an interview or bugging him about what's going on. That's just not my style. And so I let him be often. I get an interview every once in a while. But this guy was there like at, World War II veteran. So tell me a story. Tell me a story about your grandpa that is like, like a good, as best as you can without revealing something, without getting on the bad side of anybody, but a cool old school Greek story. Because you said I hear, you put a bottle of Chivas in front of him and everything's good.
That is true. Of course, everyone knows JC's Pub and Restaurant up in McCook, Illinois has been a long time partner with my grandpa. It's so funny. You walk into the bar and there's a whole shrine of him, right?
Oh, really?
So there's pictures everywhere, and there's blower belts and helmets and this and that and all kinds of stuff at the bar. He even has his own Chris Karamessina sandwich, which is a grilled cheese, but it's named Chris Karamessina sandwich in the menu. But yeah, if you get him up there at JC's one of these nights, and he has a couple of cocktails in him, he is definitely a character. He lights up, and it's so much fun being able to be there with him to hear some of the stories. And of course, they're not telling me all the stories because my mom, even my mom's like, you don't need to hear all of them. I'm like, yes, I do. But I mean, like I've heard rumors of like my grandpa used to date Goldie Hawn, and they used to hang out at the Playboy Club in Chicago. Like I've heard that rumor. Heck, even in the Nitro take back that NHRA played, and he was going to the finals. I mean, heck, he's on fire and he's trying to stop the car, and he undoes his belt and stands up as the car is stopping. Like,
yeah, what's more badass than that? Yeah.
Sure, Grandpa, you're only going like 300 miles an hour, but it's fine. But there's things like that. You know, he always had a boat on Lake Michigan, and he's always had, you know, other toys that, you know, all the Gartlets and Coletta and, you know, all the racers from California would come stay at the house with my parents, or with my mom and her parents. And my mom remembers all of them, you know, sitting at the dinner table, and they're all working on their race cars out at the shop. And even Bobby and Dom, they remember a few years ago that they had a race in Chicago, and they didn't want to go home to New York. So my grandpa let them park next to his car at the shop, and they sat there and work all night and all kinds of stuff. But
wow.
I mean, there's been some crazy stories of just, I don't even know how half of it comes to be. I mean, one of the crazier ones is, like, of course, Freddie Denane from New York. You know, my grandpa and him go way back. And it's like, my mom remembers like the monkey walking around Freddie Denane's pit, and like one time my grandpa went and hit the monkey because it was bugging him, and oh yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Oh my gosh. Living legend. And that's the thing.
Yes.
Goldie Hawn, back in the day, Match Game. I was not alive, but she was like one of the most attractive women on the planet, and the Greek drag racer. That is super cool.
Yeah.
I heard because by the time that I started going to the track, he was the golden Greek already, right?
Mm-hmm.
But back in the original days, my dad used to tell me that he saw him do like handstands on the roll cage, like do like cool things, like coming back and forth from runs and stuff, like a showman, like doing things to put on a show for the fans that were in attendance. Like that is amazing. So who was first to 200 miles per hour?
Obviously the Greek. Come on, Joe.
There's a battle. How serious is that? How serious is that fight?
You know what's funny is that Grandpa's like, it don't matter. I'm like, it does matter. It's so funny because he's like, it doesn't matter. And like when all these people come up to him and like, hey, who was the first at 200? He's like, I don't really care. But I think it's him, because the thing is that he did it at a track that was out in the middle of nowhere, of course, Alton, Illinois, which was pretty close to St. Louis this last weekend. And the biggest thing is that not a lot of people were there that saw it. And I think that's what the confusion is about. And of course, like Connie did it, or whoever did it at NHRA, of course, they got the NHRA's first to 200. But Grandpa said, oh yeah, we ran it so many times. And even Gartlets couldn't believe that he ran 200. So that's the funny part, is like all these guys that are within the fight of the 200 know he did it, because they all congratulated him.
There you go. See, I'm under the impression that he went 201, and that was the big thing. 201.
He went 204.
Whoa.
204, because that's we named that car the 204 car, which is still up in Chicago. He has it still. He just restored it, and it's sitting up at the shop in Chicago. And yeah, I mean, it's a homemade built race car that went 204 miles an hour.
And that is the moral to it all. Like, you get in a car and there's like thought into safety and protecting the driver. Back then, they were not really spending a lot of time on that subject. They were trying to go fast. And you look at those cars and you think, why would they do that? And they were doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, heck, they even put hydrazine in the tank. Like, talk about, like, you think nitro's crazy? Wait till hydrazine.
Right. And that's a whole element, like our modern fans. And, you know, you go back into the history, they were just trying everything. What can we do? Yeah. I hear hydrazine was bad stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a true testament of like where they came from. And it's crazy that, you know, especially when this car's up in Chicago, they sit, the 204 car and this car sits right next to each other. And it's like, wow, you went from from this to, this, you know?
Well, exactly. So Derek is out there. He goes, I was hoping the Greek would have made an appearance. I don't think that's going to happen. And I think about that all the time, like the generational, the technology, right? Like we were having problems with Paul. And sometimes this doesn't work. But, man, I bet that guy's got some amazing stories.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you think he would love to come and talk to us, but he still has a flip phone. So
he does still have a flip phone.
Yeah.
You're going to have to go with him. We'll do this again if he's into it, because remember, rule number 1 is I don't want to annoy. And so, but if he was down for like this kind of conversation with you there and we could get some stories out of him, he came on WFO one time and I felt like I got to get the Greek, and he came on and gave great advice. Like the guy's advice was incredible, which I should follow it more. It was like, how do you stay young? How are you doing this, what you're doing? And he's like, turn off the TV, get out there and do stuff, like have real life, real experiences. Don't sit home and just watch TV. You got to get out there and do it. And it's great advice because you see him out there. Like, I wouldn't want to mess with the Greek guy. Still looks tough.
He is tough. Believe me, he is tough. I'm not trying to say like he's this big old softy, but he's even tough on me sometimes, but that's how he grew up. That's what he knows. And, to drive one of these cars, you have to be tough. And, I'm learning to be tough like him, especially in the race car. But sometimes it's like, really, to me, can't you like change your attitude?
Well, he's from a different era. Like there's a whole a thing about that. Michael Heiner, Pro Stock crew chief, says he's loved listening to the excitement about the sport, and everybody is liking it. But think about that. He's from a totally different era, and I don't blame people from being from a different era. So the idea of his granddaughter driving a top fuel car, that might be hard for him to wrap his mind around initially, and then it's happening and he loves it and he's happy, but there's a lesson to be learned there. It doesn't make sense, and then when it happens he loves it.
Yeah, it was I could see the battle within him the first couple of days when we got to St. Louis, and of course when I made that 399 run, and you see in the video he had a tear up at the top end, and
yes,
it's funny, he's like congratulatory and Monday was a great day, and then come Tuesday he calls me up, did you get it knocked apart yet? No. Hold on. I barely got home 3 in the morning and I haven't had time. But that's how he is, and we love him for it. So
no, that's great. Now, well, he's a treasure. He's a treasure of drag racing. The idea that we can and Garlett's too. Garlett's out there at the Gator Nationals. The idea that these guys are still energized and going and doing. In baseball world, we just lost Whitey Ford, who was a big pitcher for the New York Yankees, 91 years old, but they're not out there as much. Our guys are still doing it, and Greek is still doing it. But I'm having you on our happy hour show because we need to know about you. So what's next as we begin the wind down process here on happy hour? All right, you got the license now. How are we going to use this thing? What are the potential opportunities? What needs to happen for fans of Krista Baldwin to see you attempt to qualify something somewhere at some point?
Obviously, that's the goal, is to race the top fuel car as much as I can. But I still feel like I have to pick up something down in the alcohol ranks. I got to pick up a Wally before I could just ditch that class.
I agree with that. Yeah, no, you have to. It's a rite of passage.
It is, and if I do pick up a Wally somewhere, it would actually be the first Wally within my family to win for a race. Because of course my grandpa has a Lifetime Achievement Award and a couple other things like that, but it would be actually the first time someone from my family would win an NHRA race, and so that would be a pretty momentous thing, especially in the A-Fuel car with Anthony and myself. And, we worked tirelessly for the last 5 years to try and make that car run. And we're just on the brink of making it go faster. And we're putting some new parts on the car, and, we're getting help, tuning help from other people. So we're super close on that. The top fuel car, absolutely want to do it, of course. But like I said, I got to finish what I started in A-Fuel. my goal for next year is I want to at least enter one race with both cars.
There you go. There you go. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah. Well, the Greek with the two we saw in the Nitro Time Machine, the two final rounds, Gary Hornsby. I get it. He was in a championship fight and he was back in the day and he was trying to get things done. And Chris doesn't want someone giving him a win. Like, that's not the way it works. And his career is not diminished in any way, but you can go out there and get that job done. And judging by the way the car was running in Indy, we just got to motivate Anthony. That's the problem. Anthony DeSero. He's spending too much time trying to be a drag race announcer. He keeps telling me that. I wish I could be an announcer. It's like, really? I wish I could be a fuel car.
One of these days, I'm going to let him come up to the booth with you, and you guys sit there and announce the alcohol race.
We had it dialed in at some point, and then it all fell apart. But we'll do it once the COVID thing is over, and we can start bringing people back up there. I want to put him on the spot. Like, all right, brother, here you go.
He's a wizard at like facts and this and that, and he knows everything about everyone. So I think he'll be able to do it with grace.
Well, and that's the thing about the alcohol ranks, that underappreciated, the love, the devotion, the effort, they're doing it. It's just, it's unfortunate when you got Top Fuel dragsters and nitro funny cars out there. That's what makes everybody pay attention and they go back to the pits. But the alcohol cars, there's just so many great people and personalities. They really are a huge part of this. And without them, the sport wouldn't be the same. And that is true for you too, Krista. Thank you for coming on Happy Hour. I really appreciate this. I think it went very well. What do you think?
I think so too. I mean, it was fun to see Cameron and especially Taylor. I mean, coming off of a win like that and, trying to pick up another win this weekend, especially with the heavy hitters like Erica and Richard in his class.
Right.
That's cool. That's so cool. And I hope to see him in pro stock here in the next couple years. So it'll be fun. And like Cameron and I said, we just got to get more young people out there. You got to come experience the drag races. And, it's one thing to watch it on TV. It's a whole nother thing when you come to the races. So
right. And on that, I'll give you, this will be the final question for Krista. Mm-hmm. How do we do that? How do we get more young people? I'm not young people anymore. I'm middle-aged people. And I feel like I'm doing great, but I'm still middle-aged people. And there's a gap in my understanding of certain things. And so how do we get that Generation Z or whatever we're calling it these days to realize, like, yeah, you don't have to want to drive cars to the grocery store to appreciate a car that accelerates to 330 miles per hour and 1,000 feet. And maybe you don't even care about the way a mechanical engine works, but you can have fun with your friends coming out to the racetrack and watching drag racing. How do we do that? Okay, solve the problem, Krista, and then we'll let you go.
One of the big things that, I think we need in this sport is to bring out more of the personalities of the drivers. And so to bring out, those different characters so you can align yourself with someone on a side of an issue, or if there's going to be a fight that breaks out or stuff like that. Because I remember, like, back when I was a kid, there was fights at the top end all the time. And it was exciting. And of course, I'm still a fan, and I will absolutely go sit in the stands and watch a round of, nitro or alcohol or whatever and still have a great time. But you gotta excite the fans with the different personalities, because we do have tons of personalities here. And maybe we have to kind of pose each other or pose against each other at some points, but just to create that drama, more of like a, not necessarily reality TV, but more of, the cars are awesome, but the people are cooler.
I like it. I like it. And, we did have Cam on, and he was a firsthand experience to something like that. And it was the talk for several weeks. And so, not that we need physical confrontations, but yes, there's always a reason to root for one or the other, this one or that one. And we don't all have to agree on that, but I'm rooting for you. I appreciate you coming on the show. This has been very fun. We had a good time. Thank you for doing it, Krista. Excellent job.
Yes, thank you, Joe. And thank you, everyone that's listening to WFO. And thank you for the support over the years. And I'm excited for this next chapter. It's going to be fast. It's going to be fun. And man, I literally can't wait to hit the gas again.
There it is. Well, now that's the problem is now you're hopelessly addicted, right? Like
Yes.
everybody, like, don't do it. And now you're going to be chasing that dragon forever, as so many have. But good. That's what we need. We need it. We love the cars. We love watching the cars. I can't even imagine what it's like to drive. Krista, thank you very much. All the best to you and your family.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
All right. There she goes. Krista Baldwin. Thank you, Krista. There she goes. The Greek Cat with us on a happy hour show here on WFO. How great was that? Oh my gosh. We had Cam Foray. We had Paul Lee. We had Taylor. It was incredible. We had a good time. It was awesome. And I appreciate all of you. Okay. So put your comments, final comments. What did you think? What was it like? All of that stuff. And put them in the comments section. And I will get to them after I tell you about the very important stuff that I got to tell you about. Like, man, how cool did Taylor look with his WFO face covering after winning the race? Oh my gosh. And his WFO sticker. And is it really good luck? I think it is. People are talking about it all over the place. Like maybe this is really the good luck that's getting it in. So go to WFOradio.com. And there's a section called WFO Store. And it is my great vision that someday down the road, you will be going to the WFO store for all kinds of different products that are WFO approved, like wide freaking open, as in good. They are good. They have achieved an endorsement by me. In the meantime, the face covering is there. You can get WFO Radio t-shirt by clicking on the Nitrofish link. And for just $10, you get the WFO Radio face covering and a couple of WFO stickers. And then maybe you can be like this guy and go out there and get the job done and win a race. Look how happy Taylor and Gary. That's cool. Let me tell you, Taylor is next generation of pro stock. I can tell you already. And Krista, similar situation. I decided a while ago, if you've been following WFO has been going for over 10 years. WFO has been going for a long time. I don't know how on earth I've survived. It's probably thanks to the Patreons who actually pay money for this show. They do. And the special added content, patreon.com/WFO radio. But I have no idea how I've survived doing this. And, you know, you gotta think about like what you're going to support. Like, what am I going to support? What is my thing going to be? What am I going to back? What am I going to support? And I'm going to support and have been supporting and love supporting and appreciate the future, the next generation, the young generation, the next wave coming in. And whether it's Krista or it's Taylor or it's Megan Meyer, first interview on WFO Radio. Like, you think about all these people who they're people trying to make their way in the sport of NHRA drag racing. And there's a whole bunch of them. And who cares, right? No. We need to spend a little time focused on them, because when the John Forces and the Don Schumachers and the Connie Colettas age out, whenever that happens, who's going to run this sport? Who are the people going to be? We have to invest in them. And that's what we're doing. And Krista did great. She was awesome. I really appreciate it. I want to say thanks to the folks at Sanacor and Silverthorne Industries on board for October. If you're a WFO listener out there, go to their Facebook page, like their page, go to their website, sanacorusa.com, and order some sanitizer. You need it. We all need sanitizer. There are these mainstream brands of sanitizer. Stick with the drag racers. You're watching WFO. Stick with the drag racers. Talking about Tony Shortall. He'll be on the show on Wednesday next week. Silverthorne Industries. If you've got a business, you need to keep your people safe. Silverthorne Industries, Sanacor. Way to go. Good stuff. And that's true for Marvin Rodak. Marvin Rodak and Bobby Graham have already threatened that they're going to cause a ruckus because I'm not going to Dallas. I'm disappointed, guys. I'm bummed out, but it is what it is. You know, like we're not in a normal year. We're not in a normal year. I will not be in Dallas. It is a bummer. It's a travesty against the whole thing, but whatever. But don't do anything nasty, guys. Marvin Rodak, 817-924-6821. I know for a fact that a lot of you people hear me talk about Marvin every week, and it goes in one ear and out the other. That should stop right here. Great coffee, great barbecue, hot sauces and spice rubs and amazing stuff. Give Marvin a call, strike up a conversation, and get the stuff you need. The A26 spice rub, which is made out of coffee, the WFO Radio blend of coffee, and the habanero endorphin booster hot sauce. And I challenge you, if you love hot sauces, you will love that one. Samtech.edu, the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology. Start your education at full speed. We've got Factory Stock Podcast. Factory Stock moved to Houston, like the St. Louis race was moved to Houston. Coming down to the wire. How will Aaron Stanfield do? Go to Factory Stock Podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to find out. And samtech.edu, if you're a machinist or if you want to get in on the action that you've been hearing about as a crew chief, that's how you get started. Total Seal Piston Rings, the leader in ring seal technology. And what's kind of cool is that KI, who is part owner on the Total Seal team of Matt Hartford, is also very helpful to Taylor, which CIP1, and I know I'm kind of cross-promoting here, but CIP1 is one of our banner ad sponsors when you go to the WFO website. California import parts for V-dubs. For all you V-dub people out there, air-cooled, they got everything. But it's all connected to Total Seal and Total Seal Piston Rings. Matt Hartford, Keith Jones, Lake Speed, all over there. Go to TotalSeal.com. And if you're an engine builder and you watch WFO and you don't use Total Seal Piston Rings, I don't know. You must get them for free or something. And finally, Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure, Frank and Lana Hawley. We really appreciate them. A couple of our listeners have recently gone to Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School and had a great time. And that's it. It's an incredible experience. You hear all these drag racers talk about how much they love it. Are you really ready to invest all that it takes to go out there and do it? Maybe not. But Frank has got a program that you don't have to. You can invest a very small amount and get a full day experience. Also want to mention nitrofishracing.com. WFO20 is the promo code. WFO20, nitrofishracing.com. And you'll save 20%. What's better than that? And of course, we got stickers that you can send, a self-addressed stamped envelope, and of course the WFO radio face covering, WFO store. There you go. What was the best news that I heard? The best news. Man, I heard news that Dominic Lagana and Bobby Lagana said that it was the best experience he's had in months, and he feels great, and he was great, and that's great. That's all I'm hoping for. And we fly the Nitro Ninja up in the right corner of our screen. I guess it's maybe, depends on where you're going, right or left. But we fly that Nitro Ninja for Dominic. And to know that Dominic is on the FaceTime watching Krista make a run, like, that's incredible. But what really needs to happen is the New York Yankees need to win tonight. And the question is, which of these New York Yankee hats am I going to bust out for victory? Because we faced out elimination yesterday and we won. And now we got Garrett Cole on the mound against the Rays. The Rays that hate us like vile poison. I don't know, why do they hate us so much? It's just 27 World Series championships. What are we supposed to do? But there's just this discontent. And so I've got to pick the right hat. Yesterday, I ran the 2009 World Series victory inaugural Yankee Stadium hat. But I got some interesting stuff here. Like, this was purchased outside of Yankee Stadium by a vendor, and this is a bootleg hat. This thing cost me like $5, but it was outside Yankee Stadium. This is an actual Yankee Stadium Cap Day cap. You've heard of Cap Day, right? Like, you come out to Yankee Stadium and get Cap Day, first 5,000 people. This is a Yankee Stadium Cap Day cap. For a Florida kid, that's pretty impossible. How about this one? Look at this. Yankees Racing, Gwynn Steinbrenner Racing. The idea that Darrell Gwynn and Hank Steinbrenner, may he rest in peace, put together an operation. So this is the choice that I have to figure out here. Where's my Darryl Strawberry hat? That's the one. One of the greatest stories of all time. I'm driving down the street in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Here it is. This is the one everybody wants to know about. This is the most important hat in the hat collection. I'm driving down the street. Darryl Strawberry. It's like 1996. Darryl Strawberry, Yankee, former Met Yankee, has cancer. And they go on and they win the World Series for Darryl. Well, a couple of years later, I'm driving down the road in the back seat of a car. A couple of young ladies are driving, and we're in a residential neighborhood. And I was like, okay, this is cruising. And I see a guy on the side of the road, and he's big. And I'm like, oh, look at this guy. Let me see what's going on. And we pass by him, and I yell at that. I was like, stop. You have to stop. You have to stop. Stop right here. Stop. And they stop. I was like, I don't want to sound weird, but I think that's Daryl Strawberry on the street in the middle of Fort Lauderdale, out of nowhere, fish out of water. So we back up. Sure enough, it's Daryl, the straw man. And we get out. We have a moment. We take some photos. We had a great time. So maybe I think tonight it's going to be the strawberry hat, and it'll be breaking out all the old school stuff and find out what we can do to make the Yankees win. All right. That should have been enough time for you guys to get your comments in the comment section. Jeff, who made the Lagana Strong tree that we're going to be putting on eBay and donating all the proceeds. That's going to happen next week. So I feel like I've done a good enough job of teasing it. You guys should know that by now and be ready to spend as much money as is possible. Bobby Graham, I'm late to the party. Will you be at Dallas? I will not be in Dallas. Bobby Graham, you know the answer to that question. I'm not going to be in Dallas. I think I've done my last race for the year is really what I think. I got to see her dad in his funny car in Spokane, Densham, in Gary Densham, old NEC car. Awesome. Jalen, more burnouts and show more personality. Talking about how to bring the young people in on the sport, I think. Congratulations. It's for Krista. Great show, says Scott. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it. You know what you need to do? You need to tell some people. You need to recruit more listeners and share the show is what you need to do, Scott. Force your friends to watch. Force them. Bruce says, Joe, that was a great interview with Krista. Wonderful role model for young people. I agree. And that's why, these are the people that I'm going to devote extra time to, giving them opportunity to hone their craft, to learn the media biz, and show who they are. And if you can't be a Krista Baldwin fan after that, what's wrong with you? Max, any performance add-ons on the CTS-V? Cold air and a tune. That's it. I got a K&N cold air intake, and I got a tune by Fuzz Ritchie. And that's it. And I've got a, Creative Steel differential bushing to maintain the back because there's a lot going on. V1, they call us peasants. But the way I look at it, the CTS V1, the first V, 2004 to 2007, is going to be a historic automobile. And I plan on keeping it forever. A Cadillac with a V8 with 400 horsepower and a manual transmission. You know who loves the car the most? Valets. You go to a valet and man, they love that car. It's crazy. Jeff, really cool show today. Got my stickers, pictures to follow. Got you the stickers, Jeff. Look at me getting something done. Thanks, Joe. Another great happy hour. Thank you very much. Yeah, Jason Logan, by the way, was invited, and he has a real gig for the first time since COVID started, and he's got to go work. So that's where Jason Logan is. And Courtney Enders was going to pop on, but she's at the racetrack, and they're getting ready to race. And so she was not able to pop on. Bobby Graham, shirts are being made going for TV time. Scaring me, Bobby Graham. Scaring me. Bobby Graham, it ties it all together. Bobby Graham and Marvin Rodak. Okay, Marvin Rodak is Marvin Rodak from Rodak'sCoffeeandGrills.com. Bobby Graham is a listener. He just found WFO. So he and Marvin have become great friends. And Bobby Graham goes out to Dallas. And so they take a bunch of WFO stickers. And I don't know anything about it until it's after the fact. And they go try to convince racers to put the stickers on their car, because I don't ever ask anybody to put their stickers on the car because I just, it's too personal. My dad would never put a sticker of anything on our car. And so to ask someone to put a sticker on the car, now, if you think it's good luck and you're doing it for your own benefit, that's your own business. But these guys will do it. You know who put the sticker on the car on the nose of his Top Fuel Dragster? Guess. The Greek. How about that? Derek Green. A break in the chain of meetups. We're abiding by the CDC guidelines, so it doesn't count. Okay. The fact that I'm not going. Exactly. This year, anything that happens in 2020 doesn't count unless you pass away, like Eddie Van Halen and Whitey Ford and Tom Seaver and all these people who passed away in 2020. That we cannot deny. But everything else, like my dad breaking his Gator National streak, didn't happen. He'll be back in 2021. Thank you very much. Joey Rocket. That's why I love you, Joe. You're about drag racing and you're real. Love you, brother. Thank you very much, Joey. Joey Rocket. Joey worked with Garlitz. Do you know that? Bobby Graham, CIP1 has it all. Good service. So true. And KI is a great guy. PGH Racer. Been to school. Want to go again. It's a great experience. Frank Hawley. Derek will meet up in the honor of Joe and take photographs, by the way, and do some social media stuff. You got to act like I'm there. If I can't go to the party, I want everybody to party twice as hard. That's the way I look at it. I was asking for Krista for Dallas. I need to write a more detailed question. Yes, you do, Bobby. You do. I was about to reply to you, Bobby. I knew you were about Joe. They're talking between themselves. Great show as always. Great show as always. Bandamere racing this Sunday at Bandamere. Well, take some photos, Jeff, and be ready. And that concludes WFO Radio Happy Hour. I think it went pretty well. Which of these hats am I going to use? See, this is just the standard version. Now I know Bobby and Dom, they've got a lot of hats. They got a lot of hats. Oh, look at this. 2000 World Series champions. 2000. So that was World Series championship number 26 is what it was. It's very hard to keep track. And this is for you, Doug. I know you hate it, so I'm doing it for fun. Oh, this is a great one. The Derek Jeter hat. Good job by the Marlins. And you know, if the Yankees win, they get to play the Asterix, Will Hanna's Asterix, for a chance to go to the World Series. Wouldn't that be fun? But I am not looking past the Rays. The Rays are a great team, and I'm scared of them, honestly. I'm afraid. Let's see. Brian Brewster, Severance just went 529 out there in Phoenix, 274. Not bad for a sunny day. Thank you very much, Brian, for the update. I agree with that. This is the first year since I've been out of diapers. I have not seen a Top Fuel or a funny car. Did get to see alcohol, though. Yeah. 2020 doesn't count, folks. Friday beer time. Way to go, Greg. I agree. Stay safe, though. Go old school. Wear the oldest one you have. I think it's the strawberry hat. There's a problem, though, guys. It's a little tight. New York Yankees baseball, guys. Elimination game. Thanks to Krista. Thanks to Taylor. Thanks to Cam. Thanks to Paul. Thanks to everybody who jumped on here. Thanks to all you guys. WFO archive is loaded. Doug Coletta was great. Tommy Johnson, Alan Reinhardt. Everybody was great. There's an ignition show. Joe, not going to let Doug forget it. Doug's my buddy now. Are you kidding? We're friends. That's how I treat my friends. I annoy them. All right, everybody. That's going to do it. See you next time. WFO. Happy Friday.